can you break down, since you're the funnel queen, can you break down for us what is a funnel?
Or what I say a funnel is the process that somebody goes through from not knowing you at all to becoming a loyal customer or client. Always start with, what do people ask you all the time? So what do people often ask? And then again, for you, I'm asking you, how much money do you want to make? So what that means is I've shared my link enough times to where I leveled up my status, because if people are asking me the same questions, where do I get my glasses? But when people ask, hey, where did you get your glasses from? I'm sending them this link. That's an offer. Most of my clients actually come to me for wait lists and pre-sales. So when we're writing the books, if you had this great idea for this book or this course, let's sell it at maybe half price or a quarter of the price or whatever you want to do, add bonuses and pre-sell it.
If you're not writing this stuff down, shame on you.
Because it's tea, baby.
This right here is a masterclass of its own.
Hey, thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, pray. Thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way.
Yo, you know the place you've entered. You've entered the safe place where influencers can decompress, have fun, and guess what?
Just ask.
It's your girl, Jessica S. Smith, and I do nothing without my partner, my best friend, Desiree.
Oh, man.
Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree.
Oh, Jessica, that was hard.
It was aggressive because I aggressively love you.
Oh, man.
With all my heart.
Oh, man, Jessica.
Mind and
Jessica.
soul.
I love you, girl.
No, you don't.
That's
Not
what I do for real, in real life.
If you love me, I would have a theme song, but I definitely don't have a theme song now. Y'all see how long I've been Desireeing and theme songing?
I mean,
every time y'all see her in the street, guess what y'all do?
I mean, it's
y'all
called
sing that song.
JessAsk, which is Jessica. I'm just saying.
So I need to say JessAsk?
No. Just Ask the podcast.
Okay, cool beans. All right. So with that being said,
you gonna be a hater of your own of the song that you created?
I know I created it from my heart because
you
know
did.
Out of the heart flows
and we
rivers.
Love it. And we love it.
Of living
We
water.
love it. We love it. We love it.
Okay, so because
what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode.
Hey. This week's episode is Thursday, and even if it's not Thursday and the day that it released, welcome. Okay, because we love some good content. That's the beautiful thing about content.
Yeah.
Why did you take yourself off the screen?
I'm sorry.
No one told you to take yourself off the screen.
My apologies.
You get what I'm saying? I'll talk to her and I'll introduce her to the world. You know what? We're not gonna argue. I'm being rebuked in my mind by Omar right now. So this is what we're gonna get into. So Desiree,
yes,
we have a phenomenal guest today.
Yes,
and I'm excited to talk about the things that we need to talk about because it's gonna get us together. Because she got me together. Her got me together. What do you know about funnels?
It's like this. I like this. It's all like when I see.
Wait, what?
Like not YMCA, but like I think of like a shape. So you got like a thing like this that go inside. Think about the funnel that you use in the kitchen when you put the liquid inside.
Okay,
it go down
say
like,
that because I don't know what this is.
It wasn't YMCA. I was just trying to like this is the funnel like that. It go in. So it go in for a wide to very concentrated down to a little small thing.
you might be onto some oil right there. Okay. It goes from a wide brand and then it's concentrated
all the way down.
Okay.
Real slender and slim.
Okay.
Focused. Yes.
Targeted.
Yes.
There we go. Target might be the word. Okay.
Yes.
And so in this podcasting field, y'all understand that we have opportunities to create offers. We have opportunities to deal with and introduce ourselves to entrepreneurs. And we just fussed at y'all not too long ago about systems and understanding your processes and understanding what season you're in.
Yep.
And the reason I can fuss at y'all because I have people in my circle like this young lady who kind of got on to me. Like she real deal came from my neck one day. And it straightened me out so good that I said, can you come fuss at the people on my platform? And she's not here to fuss at you. You might feel convicted afterwards, but she's here to help us because it is the holiday season.
It's a good fuss though.
It's a great fuss.
Yeah.
It's a great fuss. So the young lady that we're bringing on is the funnel queen. Okay, she knows the ins and out of funnels. She understands the sales behind it. She understands the ease to your business and why funnels are so important. And then we're gonna get a little bit in her business because she is a powerful woman of God. And so I met this girl at in the morning meetup hosted by David Shands. And so I'm super excited to have my sister, the funnel queen, Alyssa Pitts.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me. Okay, soundboard. Okay, soundboard.
We cute over here.
Yes, come on. She liked my sound, Jessica.
Yeah, you just amped Desiree up, Alyssa. You just amped Desiree up. And so fair warning to you guys, if I call her Curlissa, that she goes by Curlissa as well. She's normally in some curls, all right, but she's braided down, bust down with the braids because she's been out here traveling and she had to protect the hair. So if I interchange that, it's the same person, y'all. So let's just go ahead and get that out the way. Alyssa, how you doing, sis?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're super excited to learn. I think you bring a lot of sauce. Okay, you are a well-kept woman. Okay, but you young though. Tell the people how old you are. This wisdom finna be tea. Okay, she finna keep us updated. How old are you, Alyssa?
Yes, so I'm 25 years old. I've been doing business for since I came out the womb. Both my parents are entrepreneurs, so they kind of voluntold me for some of the things. I just come along and see some of the different things, but I've been making money since as long as I can remember and doing design competitions forever. But I am 25. My birthday is June 21st. Shout out to all the Cancers. Geminis, I'm a Geminancer.
Okay, that's interesting. A Geminancer. I've never heard of that before. And I don't know anything about horoscopes. So if you would have told me that.
And that's why you can't subscribe to some of those things, because for me, I don't fit inside of
because you were fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
Clock that T. Alyssa, I think we about to clear something up. Before we get into your why behind funnels, can you break down, since you're the funnel queen, can you break down for us what is a funnel and what's the biggest misconception about it?
Okay, good question. So what a funnel is the process, or what I say a funnel is the process that somebody goes through from not knowing you at all to becoming a loyal customer or client. And the biggest misconception about funnels is because there's a metaphorical funnel where the funnel is actually the customer journey or the buyer's journey, what a lot of people say. And then there's actually the digital or physical version of the funnel. And this could look like, example, a grocery store. You go in there for groceries, but on the way out, you might see magazines and candy and you might pick it up. That's an add-on. Or you might see online, we have a lot of digital funnels, which I build out those. And this is like a landing page, and you might have comment the word something and you get a DM. All of these things are part of a grand scheme, a funnel, the process that somebody goes through from not knowing you at all to becoming a loyal customer or client.
That's cool. So what's the biggest misconception of this process? Like when people think about funnels, what do you hear the most that is the biggest false misconception that you normally get?
That part is the kind of misconception that a lot of people don't understand, that there's kind of the literal version of the funnel, which is like the processes, the if that, then this happens, the landing pages and the automations part of it. But there's also just the buyer's journey. Like everybody has a funnel, whether they know it or not. Kind of, I guess we can go with that's the biggest misconception. Everybody has a funnel, whether they know it or not. If they don't have all the online side together, that's okay. They still already have a funnel.
That's a good point, because I think that when me and you talked, so I'm about to get in my business with her. She chopped me up real good. Her chopped me up real good. But I learned a lot in my consultation with her. And so one of the things that I thought that I couldn't have was a funnel as a podcaster. Like I didn't think that it was necessary for me to, because I'm still building my product, still knowing what that looks like. For people that are in like the entertainment media spaces, what would a funnel, like what type of funnel would you suggest for people like that?
That's a good question. And I just smiled because one of my new clients, her name is Tamia. Shout out to her. She's actually on the BET show and she sings. She's a singer. She has a band. So with her, we're actually build out a booking funnel. So because she needs to actually be booked for these different singing engagements or to be on different TV shows and have her music in the background, they still have to speak to her in some capacity. So we have the intake form. So we're taking in their information and then we're making sure that it cross references with her calendar. So if she has a doctor's appointment, there's never any double bookings. If she already has other meetings or already got booked, there's never any double bookings with anything like that. Or for someone like you have guests on all the time. The reminders, having all the people together and making sure, hey, we have their information. Maybe we're giving them some pre-questions. All this could be automated. And it just depends on what level of the industry you're in. The whole point of having a funnel is to simplify the processes so that you don't have to spend time doing these little tedious things.
That's so good. We were just talking about that
Yeah.
over our break, and we actually were talking about that before we started recording with you because people tend to forget sometimes. And with our schedule, both of us are busy, and then the assistants or admin that we have, they're already kind of bogged down with other things, being mothers, and I don't want to negate that because my team is volunteering right now just to keep it very transparent. I thank God for that. One day we will be able to fully pay, but the Lord has blessed us to where they're sowing their time. And so I've been trying to figure out how I could make it easier for them, my team, to make this thing flow. And so I'm curious to know how you even got into being a funnel creator. Like how did you even start tapping in? And you're so young, you're so wise, you're so vibrant, you're so ambitious, and you be dropping gems like real bad, like every day, real bad. And so how did you even tap into building funnels and helping people with their business like this?
Okay, so I started off actually designing. Like I said earlier, I've been designing since I was younger because of my parents, and I was also in a lot of programs. For example, the first thing I entered when I was around 8 was called the Great Space Race, where we literally were making flyers at a college level and competing against people from all over the world. It was crazy, but since then, I evolved to social media management after I did design. At first, when I joined Morning Meetup, where I met you, I was doing $50 Flyer Friday. Then I started doing social media management. My first client was around $1,800 a month. And then I saw that all of my social media clients, they needed to convert that into a funnel. A lot of them were contracting other people. And I ended up having to still work on the funnel, whether or not I built out this. People pay a lot of money for funnels, y'all. If it's a good quality funnel and it has all the pieces, it is a pretty penny for what I've seen of my counterparts. But I kept having to fix things, and I was like, okay, now imagine if you just bought a house and then you still had to fix everything inside the house. It wasn't a brand new house. You had to fix everything inside the house, except these people brought a brand new funnel. So I saw where the gap was, and especially for Black and brown people, it's marketing different. A lot of people don't think about, okay, if I'm going to this person, these people might not look like me, and they might not have studied that consumer, whereas I have. So where I come in, it's a little bit different from other people. So we branded ourselves as fearless funnels so that we can truly be fearless, so that if somebody does buy a funnel from us, we even have Tuesday calls every Tuesday, so after they can come talk to us, learn some of the things, and it don't have to worry about, okay, I just invested pretty much. Sometimes funnels are people's rent,
Yeah.
and then they don't have any support after, or they have a lot of pieces to connect.
That's so good. So I'm gonna get to two questions after what you just said because you're doing a great job, Alyssa. You're just making this so easy. Okay, so one of the things you said, that the last thing you said was, this is how some people pay their rent. And one of the things that in our conversation, our personal conversation, you came for this is where you came for my neck. And you said, Jessica, how much extra money do you want to make right now? Right? And you gave me an example of how you were able to pay for certain things by creating offers. Can we get into that? Like, in my mind, you have to be, Before I became a MMU member, I thought everything had to be together, everything had to be perfect before I presented it to the world. Can you explain to us why that's not true and how the steps to take to creating an offer?
No problem. So, kind of having an offer for me, I have evolved in my offer creation. I do partner with AI. AI stands for artificial intelligence. So, for somebody who has a lean team like you, shout out to Cynthia. She's also one of my partners. She has built your AI dream lean team. But with that, you'd have to be able to articulate some of the things. So, for me, I actually did create an offer bot, and I did a little program where everybody, it was kind of funny because I did it when I was 24. Everybody in my program, it was 10 people. I was older than them. So we actually got to see, okay, what do we need to do to create an offer? For me, it's $100 million offers by Alex Hermosi. I always start with, what do people ask you all the time? So for you, it might be information about podcasts. I saw you did have a webinar where it was revolving around that. So congratulations for having that.
Thank you.
After the webinar, what's the upsell for that? So what do people often ask? Is it, okay, what type of equipment do you have? And then again, for you, I'm asking you, how much money do you want to make? So my brain goes into rabbit holes. I don't know about y'all if you've seen Alice in Wonderland or
Yeah.
anything like that, but there's rabbit holes inside my brain. So if people are asking me that, I actually just became a bronze member on Amazon. So what that means is I've shared my link enough times to where I leveled up my status, because if people are asking me the same questions, where do I get my glasses? We're on live right now on my platform. We have viewers watching, commenting, and they're able to see. But when people ask, hey, where did you get your glasses from? I'm sending them this link. So that's part one of what you have. That's an offer. You could make sure that you have a 6-week program. That could be a part of your offer if you didn't want to do one-to-one. If you wanted to do more one-to-one, that could be a part of your offer. You have to think of all the different settings that you could possibly have it in. Some people could make the same amount of money, if it is more a money goal, with just never talking to people at all. They could pre-record a course. So you have to think of the format that you want it in. Is it live? Is it pre-recorded? Some people just have text-based courses I've seen for it, and they've sold it for, and I've just been in a meeting where I didn't have an NDA or anything like that, $5,000 for a text-based course. So just thinking about the platform of what you want to sell, people make millions off digital products, videos. It just depends on the format. But all of these things go into your offer beyond, just thinking of, okay, price, what do they get out of it? What do you have the capacity for as well? Because you shouldn't sell anything that you're not actually going to do. But for me, I do make sure that with all of my clients, is our offer good? Is it strong? And then, as the funnel girly, what can we build on the back end off of that? So to answer your other question, I think when you have something, it's easier to pre-sell or pre-qualify. Most of my clients actually come to me for wait lists and pre-sales. So when we're writing the books, if you had this great idea for this book or this course, let's sell it at maybe half price or a quarter of the price or whatever you want to do, add bonuses and pre-sell it. After we get to 10 pre-sales, then let's record the course. Then let's write the book. But what if people don't buy it? You're going to do all of this stuff and then now you have to push it. Let's push it now. Why not? Let's just pre-qualify ourselves. A lot of times, if we are thinking about God, you pray about the things, but you actually have to do the action as well. And as you're praying for it, you can think of that as your pre-qualifying metric. It has to actually, of course, come out. You have to do it. You cannot just pre-sell the things and give a date and then never drop it ever.
Yeah.
Or you have to give value if you're not going to do it. Like, hey, I'm not ready to release this book, but instead, since you did buy it, here's this version of it. But a lot of times the answer is kind of pre-sales to your question. And when it comes to making offers, you have to kind of think of what's best for you and what people ask of you most of the time.
You just dropped so
Good gems.
bruh. Like, so this is what I just heard you say. Alyssa, I heard you say that let's, especially for creatives, because with creatives, we talk about rabbit holes. We go down a lot of rabbit holes. And let's say that we get to monitor which rabbit hole we go down based upon the pre-sale or the prerequisite that's where the funnel benefits me. So I can create this wait list, I can do this pre-sale, and this will motivate the finishing product. Is that fair to sum up what you kind of just said?
Correct. And then you have this opportunity to engage people. Now you have qualified people. For example, even if it's a free wait list, now you have permission to email these people. You have permission to text these people. And scientifically with marketing, it takes 7 to 13 touch points before people buy. But instead of just having Instagram, maybe Facebook, maybe LinkedIn, if these people are consistent, now we can do email and text, which some people check every single day.
This is this is good. This is good. What is the biggest mistake that we make in our offers? When you see us creating our offers, what are the maybe a few things that you see that we have a bigger opportunity in creating our offers?
Kind of going through all of the parts of the offers, not having the sense of urgency and having the automated part of the funnel like that. That's kind of one of my favorite funnels to create. When people do have the webinars and they do have these limited time offers, they kind of add this fake sense of urgency where it's like, yeah, we slashed the price just for this webinar. Where instead, I have worked with people where it's like, okay, our offer is 1,500 for this webinar specifically. We'll do 750 just for you, but it only lasts till midnight. We on the back end build an alternative page with a countdown at the top, and when that countdown runs out, it's back to 1,500. People will still buy it at 1,500. And the mistake is people don't send all the offers out to everybody. They assume. A lot of people assume a lot of stuff. We assume people don't have the money. We assume people don't have Afterpay. We assume people don't have Klarna. We assume people don't want to hear us. But who are we to assume? There's somebody out there. There was a baby Jess looking up on YouTube, how do I do marketing? And they could have watched this video instead.
Yeah.
So we can't assume that people know these things. We can't assume people don't want our product, and we can't assume that it's going to work. So why not do the pre-sales?
That's a valid point, and I can say that. I want to go back to how you helped me, and this I gotta give the tea because she is taking clients. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that plug in right now. She is taking clients. We're gonna have her information included in the bio, and you can just click on that and just tell her Jess sent you. Okay, maybe we can have an affiliate link. I don't know, just see how many people came from JessAsk. I don't know. We'll talk about it off screen, but how you helped me was when we had the conversation. First of all, you asked me what I wanted. So I think that's a big mishap. I've almost made that mistake of not knowing or how to answer that question to you. Like, what would it take me to get what I want, right? Or what is it what I even wanted, right? And I'll be transparent with y'all. All I did was I said, hey, I just want $2,000. And Alyssa, you said your response was like, okay, that's it. She said, that's it. I was like, in my mind, it was so hard to get into $2,000. So she was like, okay, this is how we can do it. She gave me like 2 or 3 options. And I went with one of the options and I made over that amount when I did my offer. So I got to tell you, like, what she is saying and what she's giving you on this platform right now. And if you decide to go hit her up, it works. And she has several testimonials like this. And so when you broke it down for me, you said, first of all, let's see what you want. All right, now that we see what you want, let's talk about how you can get there and how you can let's create this form of revenue for you, because you can make an offer for $2,000 if you want to and just have one client, or you can open up the door for, you know what I'm saying? She just started breaking things down. And when we have a big goal, I think that sometimes we can just be so overwhelmed with the big goal. What has been the biggest goal a client has come to you with, and how were you able to meet that goal, Alyssa?
That's a good question. Now, I do want to actually put out there, to be 1,000% honest, as a 25-year-old who has had 1,000 lives, And I mean, y'all, 1,000 lives. I've had lots of clients with astronomical goals. And to be honest, there's some that I've heard that I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm the first person to say, absolutely not. Not me. Especially if it doesn't make sense for me. I'm fine with helping people grow. We're actually reading The Science of Scaling right now.
Yeah.
And in that, we learned about somebody that took the role of CEO for a year and didn't get paid. While I've done that several times. At this point in the game, there has been times, even this year, where I was offered, somebody wanted to make multiple people over $1 million. I want to say there was 12 clients that this person had to make over $1 million. They only wanted to pay me $75,000. That's the type of numbers we're talking about now. So it's like, oh, when I was like 21 and I started getting serious about business, $75,000, I was like, oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah.
But now I have to have real conversations with people where I'm like, okay, we're talking about $12 million, $75,000 of that goes to me. If we're talking about that and I have to make this solely, and this was a faceless model, why would I do? Let's talk about some real numbers. So first off,
It makes sense.
let's jump into it. Let's just say that I have had some goals that I've heard that I've said no to. And I'm okay with saying no to that. But some of my favorite things are the clients that are like you, where we have to ask, we're having all of these things and we're doing all of these events and we're getting all these calls. What is the goal?
Yeah.
What is the goal? And a lot of times I'm the first time people are answering these questions. And it's very funny to see these CEOs and I'm like, you've been going and going and going, and we don't have the bare basic goal of how many people do you want to watch the podcast? How many people do you want to come to these events? So that's kind of the big thing in the turnaround. So it's different goals per client, but sometimes it's how many do you want to have? And when they don't have anything at all, and then all of a sudden it's like they're one of their first webinars in a while, and we have over 400 people that do come on the webinar, and you actually sell your upsell of this course that you've already created. And some times I do have clients come to me and it is either a very new venture, which is a lot of different things to look at. Some of their metrics are a little bit different. And then we have people that already have established brands, and that's kind of the people I love working with. Their brands are already established. They already have all the people. They have the courses, but they're just not doing anything with it right now. Those are the ones where I'm like, hey, girl, I actually just met somebody at Podcast Summit in the bathroom, and we made over $3,000 before she even launched her full waitlist of everything. While she had her waitlist, she sold about $3,000 worth of stuff. When she launched, she still had people that made money. The thing about it is this is a continuity offer. So even more money that she makes after that, we're looking at, okay, and she gave me solidified goals. This is the low income goal. This is the mid income goal. This is a high income goal. And then with that, we played around with pricing. If you want to make this much, we can make that with this amount of people buying this much. But if you want more people and a bigger impact, then we might have to lower the pricing so you have more people come in. We're looking at all of these different things. So all of the goals dictate what the offer is sometimes and how hard we push it.
Okay, now let me talk to the audience real quick. If you're not writing this stuff down, shame on you.
Because it's tea, baby.
This right here is a masterclass of its own. And we know that the holiday season is coming up. And so, Alyssa, how are you preparing your clients for the holiday season?
So first, again, the core things that we said in this thing. Do you have an offer? Do we have an offer for Black Friday? And a lot of people have been panicking. As you know, I actually spoke in the community of Morning Meetup, and they were like, oh, I don't want to have sales. Nobody said you had to have sales. And even if people do have sales, if you look at statistically and the past of other businesses, sometimes they stop having any sales. They mark the prices all the way up so people have a different frame of reference, and then they discount it, or they add bundles, or they do pre-sales to other things, or there's a lot of things to do other than sales. So first off, preparing my clients by asking, hey, are you ready for this? It's actually projected to be $74.4 billion with a B dollars in online revenue alone, let alone the brick and mortar people, let alone all the creatives. So let's just think about the online revenue to be created. Why can't we be a part of it? Step one, do you have an offer? Step two, with these offers, is everything automated? Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. Half of these people are going to be with their family. Maybe for me personally, I don't know about y'all. I live in Virginia, so it's the country. We go to my grandma's house. There is no Wi-Fi. All the work that I do personally has to be set up now. So we kind of started talking to some of our clients about Black Friday 2 months ago, because for me personally in my business, I do not like to do things that don't make sense. So I wouldn't actually take any Black Friday clients after maybe November 15th, because if Black Friday is the 28th, we're going to be rushing.
Yeah.
We don't have time to be doing some of these things. So we actually have some clients that we do classes with, so that we prepare them via classes. We're actually doing Black Friday classes with my brand marketing besties. We had our first class for free, which was the prep class, and we called it Get Your House in Order.
Come on.
And that was a pretty cool class. We had even some of my clients come through. I have software clients and I have actually done for you clients. So we have different gamut of people, but just one, talking to people, preparing them for everything. And then two, we have some clients, they're getting their funnels built out. They're getting their automations built out. They're having their sales funnels, but a lot of it is preparation for right now.
And that proper preparation prevents poor performance. Is that how it goes?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. That's
the
like
PG
a
alliteration. Yes.
Yeah. I was like, so that's basically what she said in a nutshell. Like, don't be coming to her last minute because you haven't gotten your house in order. I love that song. Get your house in order. Oh, do it today. I love that song. So, Alyssa, I love that you're great by yourself, but I heard we have had some authors on here, and their platform is called Better Together.
Yeah.
And so I believe that my platform would not be what it is without Desiree Danielle. And you have a partner, like you just said, your marketing bestie. And I actually got to see her. I didn't get to meet her, but I saw her at Podcast Summit with you. What is that partnership like? How did y'all come together?
Okay, funny thing. Okay, so I actually went to a conference. It was hosted by Dame Dash, and it was in my city. So I was trying to, get out of the house, do more. I ended up winning a venue. So at that venue, I'm like, you know what? I had to come on stage and say something. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to teach people. At the time, I was more doing social and the sites. I hadn't niched all the way down to funnels. So I was like, I'm gonna teach everybody how to make money online, and I charge people this amount of money per month. And instead, I'm just gonna have a class where I can teach you all how to do it, and it's gonna be called Content Creation Retreat. From there, I got invited to other events, and I saw her out. She had a camera. It was this thing called FemFest, and I was like, hey, I'm actually looking for photographers for this event, because in essence, it was going to be, have all these photographers. We teach you content. We have the headshots for you. We have the videos for you, and you learn how to do it. By the end, we'll actually schedule all the content so you can leave and have all the content done. When I met her, I was like, hey, are you a photographer for this event? She was like, girl, this is my event. I was like, oh my bad.
Clock it.
I met the one. Okay, cool. So actually, I'm having events. It was a dope event. There were so many people there. I was like, oh, okay. So from there, I actually was a part of some of her events. She invited me to model on her platform. We did it on the ocean front. So I live in Virginia Beach. Shout out to Virginia Beach. We are home of Missy Elliott, Pharrell,
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown, he's from a little up north, but he let to come party down here. But yes,
I'm just saying, I heard he was from the VA. And
yes, he is from Virginia. Yes,
okay.
From Virginia.
I just had to let y'all know that I like Chris Brown.
Bye.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, so she invited me to some of her events. So I started modeling, all this other stuff. So I'm like, girl, we do all this stuff. You do like more the in-person events. She was a social media manager. So since I wasn't doing that anymore, I was like, here, take all of this stuff. You have it. I'll send you the clients. She told me how much she was charging. I was like, same thing. Whoop. Okay, what can you do with that? Absolutely nothing. Let's get... So then we got some of that together, and I was like, you know what? Let's just call each other marketing besties. Because when I first met her, I sat her down. I was like, let's have a sit down, a little powwow. I've met some girls in this industry and I did not like the experience. So I just have to tell you going into this, let's just, we're going to have to mediate, the friendship and the working together. We'll have to figure that out. So that's how kind of Marketing Besties came along. So we actually meet. She's like, girl, we have to meet once a week. And I'm such a non-committal person. I'm like, girl.
So you Desiree.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So you Desiree and she me.
Desiree, we're trying to figure out, is you my man? Like,
why we gotta call it, girl?
properly build the foundation. That she's the person that has all the design and the branding and that side of things. And I'm like, girl, let's talk about the money and the goals. And here's the agenda for when we go out of town. And actually, we have this event coming up, and so we have where she's high, I'm low, where I'm low, she's high, and that's kind of how we form the Marketing Besties. And we've had to tell each other, like, it's not gonna work right now. It's right now, let's back it on up.
Yeah.
Or, oh, how are you feeling today? Or, oh, we have to check in on those type of things. But then we made the brand so that we can meet other Marketing Besties, because there are some people that focus more on email, or they are more of the creatives, or she's also a modeling coach. So there's that side. And I'm also into AI and the metaverse. So there's that side. But so we can connect with different people on different levels. But we're all Marketing Besties. Y'all got the podcast. We have a podcast, but we don't post on there. So that's why we talk to different people. We do different things, and we're all Marketing Besties. But that's how I met her, and that's how that came about.
That's so dope.
No, you said something so powerful, and I think it's so important that I pinpoint, like poke at what you said, because people think that they see the limelight, they see the elevation of something like the Marketing Besties, or with me and Desiree podcast on purpose that we are pushing out. I don't think they understand the back end headache and those sit down conversations that are necessary for the benefit of the business, right? Like right now, I'm not your friend. We not friends right now. We're business partners, and I had to learn that quickly. Desiree, thank God that she is who she is. I had to learn that quickly, and she knows. Like if I'm in a mood where I'm like, stop asking me questions, I get in those moods. I'm like, I have to be honest with her, because we only work as well, as healthy as we are, right? If the relationship isn't healthy, then the business relationship is not going to be good. And so I'm so glad you brought that up. So speaking on a personal matter, I think that we as ambitious women, people see the limelight, the forward progression, but there are some opportunities even in our personal life that kind of like people would never ever know about us. And in our conversation, you can tell me no right now, because I think you know where we're going. You want to go there?
It doesn't matter. We can go anywhere.
Okay, cool beans. So I was as ambitious as you are and as driven as you are. I was surprised to find out that you had experience with domestic violence. Can we walk that journey a little bit, and how, because it's not just talking about domestic violence. It's you're this ambitious woman, and you were doing this while in the situation. You were growing your brand while being in this domestic situation. And my viewers know that I've been in domestic violence twice. And domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, financial. There are levels to domestic violence. But you're looking at Alyssa, and Alyssa's talking about these funnels, and she's giving you the game, but she in her personal world, like fighting, like fighting for her life, fighting for peace. Can we go from how did we even get there? What time period was this? And can you journey us through how did you manage being this bossed up lady while dealing with something as harmful as this?
Okay, so let's preface this by saying that while all this was happening, I was in the process of, I always like to say Tyler Perry wrote my life. Like, I don't know what in the world. I came from a regular household, two-parent household. Both my parents are teachers. So for me, the life that I was experiencing as a young 20-year-old, I just could not believe that life was lifing like this. So let's take it back before I even met this person.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to this, I had gone to college. I did graduate from college. I have my degree in business. I have my actual associate's degree. I did go away to college. During this time, I actually started my first business, which was called Is It Bad? So I already had this online brand. So this is also a cautionary tale for some of the creators. There is a point where you can build your life and other people watch it and they want to become a part of your life. That's a part of being a creator, and you have to be conscious of these things. So because I already had this brand, I had already built my business already. I was going also through a process where everybody that I did meet in college, for some reason, everybody was passing away or going to jail. So that was very heavy on me,
Mm-hmm.
because now the person that I actually built a business with, she ended up passing away and she was murdered. Crazy fact, we just now are getting to the trials now. This was in 2020. So at the time, I'd moved, in with my other roommate, and she had gone through all of this with us. And because all of us lived together, we had this business together, we did the content house, we did everything, we lived together, we moved to a new place, and I'd actually had a party. It was a Halloween party. So I had a Halloween party, and this was on the end of a pop-up shop. So at that time, the person DM'd me and was like, I'll come to the pop-up shop. I invited them to the Halloween party. So this is how this person was introduced into my life, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
through Instagram. So this is a start of like, okay, yes, I was already going through some crazy stuff. I had just moved. It was kind of like, okay, intro to my friends into my apartment. I'm from Virginia. We consider it Virginia the South. Anywhere you order sweet tea or tea and it comes out sweet, I think it's the South.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
fair. I
That's
think
fair.
Yes.
that's fair.
So as such, I was a girl that would have these different parties, but you can't come into my house unless you bring something. So
Mm.
you need to bring something. Something. It's got to be something. So that's kind of how this person was introduced into my life. And fast forward, I think for him, it was so intense because when you meet me, you make money. I mean, he already had the ebook ideas, he already had all the stuff. So we were just making money quickly. And then we started forming businesses together, started traveling together because I'm the type of person, I was getting sponsorships. I'm like, I need somebody to travel with. It just worked at that time. But he
Mm-hmm.
had a whole entire life. I don't want to speak too much on his life, but because of that, I just didn't want to be involved. And when I started speaking on not wanting to be involved, that's where measures to stay became physical. Um,
Mm.
I ended up, to the last point, it happened a couple of times where, arguments became, now I'm getting pushed around. Now I'm going running into walls. Now my phone's getting thrown across rooms. All of these names are coming out that my mom didn't name me. All of these things, and I don't even want to speak on half of the things that ended up happening. But by the end, he wasn't even around. It was like the events had occurred. I had bruises all over me, and I was on live, just minding my business on live. And I look, all these names are coming out again that my mom didn't name me, those of which are mostly saying that I'm being promiscuous, where I'm not. I'm literally doing my work
Yeah.
on live. So I had a panic attack and I called my mom. I was like, I can't do this anymore. His friends lived in my building. So it was almost like even if I kicked you out, you still would find a way to come. So I was like, Mom, I can't do this anymore. And I had left from my own apartment, which he didn't have any rights to, several times, just uprooting my life. So ladies, do not uproot your life trying to,
But
participate with other.
at the time, you felt like you needed to do that because here, and this is somewhere I've left. Well, I mean, I'm paying rent, and my name is on the. You ain't got no job. Like you not making money both times. I ain't talking about one. So if you watching this, watch it. But you don't have anything yet. I'm so desperate for peace. I'm willing to. So that's a real thing. Like, I think in the moment you have to do what you need to do, but longevity wise, like, no, you got to come up with a plan and get out
Yeah.
quickly. But proceed. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No worries, because honestly, some people haven't gone through these things, or they know somebody going through these things and they don't understand how you could be in this situation. But it wasn't like, and I've heard even people that we know say, people that act like that want to be there. I didn't want to be there. I told everybody that I could tell. I did everything. But then the last situation was 2 hours. 2 hours of just getting slung around,
Wow.
of hitting stuff, of just, and all this started because I didn't want to lay down with this person. It started just like that. So because of this, my family was dropping off my sister to college, and I was like, yeah, you can just come get me on the way back, because I didn't live in the city with my parents, and my sister wasn't going to college in that city. So there was like my where I was living was in between. So I was calling my family members. I'm like, yeah, I'm just coming home. Like, I'm gonna need help, basically. Like, calling my boy cousins, like, I'm gonna need help. Like, we
Yeah.
gotta get this stuff. Like, yeah. So I call my aunt, and she's like, are you getting hit? Like, is he putting his hands on you? Are you okay? And I was like, I'm not okay. And then she was like, hold on. And she called the police.
Mm.
So from there, the actual charges were kidnapping, domestic violence of a family member, excessive phone calls. I had to put a restraining order on him. Still violated some of the restraining orders. At a certain point, I actually allowed a restraining order where we could communicate, because I was that ditzy. Like, sometimes you don't realize in these situations you are
Yeah.
ditzy. Like,
You're
your
still caring
brain.
about them. Like, there was still a care, because you obviously you cared for him, because you wouldn't have been with someone that you did not care about. And the way ambitious women love, they love hard as you go for your business, you gonna go for your man. Like, you gonna believe that's the thing, Alyssa. I think that people are so quick to judge like those type of situations, because, oh, I would never do this, I would never. Please say never. Do you think I wanted to be in a situation like this? Let's start. Who volunteered for domestic violence? Not me. Okay.
Nobody.
Nobody puts their hand and say, hey, I want you to harm me mentally, physically, and emotionally. Let's chat GPT that. No, that's not what somebody's saying. But I think that the same drive, ambitious people, not even just women, but we're women right now, so I'm speaking to women from a woman's perspective. The same ambition it takes for me to love my company, for me to be so passionate about, funnels or podcasting. It takes that same seed to love a man or to love a mate, to be invested. And so I think that if you're listening to this and never have been in a situation like this, think of it like that. The same energy that I'm taking to develop and build this platform is the same energy I'm willing to give in a relationship. And so I think that I just want to. I want to affirm you in that, because that is a level of ignorance just people don't have. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because you're still a great woman. You just went through a difficult experience. And so one thing I'm proud to hear you were able to do is that you were able to speak out. Like, you asked for help. I didn't ask for help the first time. And the second time, I didn't even realize until afterwards that it was the abuse. Like, in my mind, I didn't realize it was abusive until I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, I allowed this to happen again. And I was more upset with myself than I was with him. Like, I was more upset that I allowed this to happen again, because I knew what abuse looked like. Nah, fam. It shows up in a lot of different ways, and not just physically. This one situation was more mentally and emotional, manipulative. Like, that manipulation is so strong. And so when you realize you are in these situations, and then they'll tell you, I don't know if you heard this, oh, I'm not going to do it anymore. Or, I do that because I love you and I just don't want you to leave type thing. It just kind of emotionally confuses the situation. So I'm backing my girl up on what she's saying right now.
Yeah, and for anyone that is going through it, it's kind of like a reality check that you need to have. Like, let's have come here. Let's have a reality check. Reality check is, one, you're not alone. There are people that love you, even if you don't have anybody. Anything is better than you allowing yourself to be harmed. So there's that piece. There's also the piece of enabling. There are people that are maybe around other people. In my situation, I told people before it got to the point that it did. Even afterwards, I had people in my life that were also in his life telling me, oh, instead of, you don't want to actually go to court. Instead of doing that, let's write this letter and let's try to get him off on these charges and let's do all of this stuff. There are sometimes people that will have the back of the other person. I've actually had people in the situation tell me, well, you're a little firecracker. Sometimes you might have said something that, so you have to realize that sometimes it's the people around you, it's not you. And if you want to continue to be alive and have thoughts and do these things, sometimes you do have to get away. And there are people that in their places that can help you. Even if you don't get the police involved, there are people that have organizations to help women out of domestic violence. There are people that will actually come in and provide support. And sometimes you have to look at the other person, like, what is your background like? My background, it looks like this, but this other person's background looks like, okay, they might have already had charges before. They might have already had women in the past that had said this, or this. And you have to kind of, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
If they already put their hands on you, believe them. If you're already just being emotionally hurt, why would you want to keep going through these things? Why? If somebody loves you, what is your ideal of love? Write it down on a piece of paper. And if this relationship that you're in doesn't match, what steps do you need to take? Same way with money. What steps do we need to take to get away from this situation? And even still now that somehow the court dismissed this case without, I went to court and everything, get there. We're talking about something we dismissed it a couple weeks ago after I'd been summoned multiple times. That this person still finds little ways to do little things. And it's like, even still to this day, after doing this, having a restraining order for multiple years, this person even came to Podcast Summit one year, told me they knew I was going to be there while I had a restraining order. It's just very interesting. You have to beware of these people. And I haven't really talked about any of this stuff because it's like, I stopped posting. I stopped doing a lot of stuff that I was supposed to do. So that's the downside of it. Like, yeah, I did do all this stuff, but I didn't do a lot of stuff that I wanted to do because I'm like, will this person now know where I'm at? Will they come get me? I've even had to end other relationships because they're like, oh, heck no. Why would you even go to a conference and now your ex is there? You knew he was going to be there, is the conversation that I'm getting. So it's just like, I still deal with this stuff to this day. I wish I didn't because I just want to focus on me right now. I'm just worried about, okay, I am 25. I am doing pretty well in business. How much do I want to grow? But at the same time, in the back of my head, it's like, of course, I'm not happy to have gone through the situation, but now I have the security clearance in the back of my head. Like, okay, if I do meet somebody, what's going on in your background? What's going on in, like, even with business? Why do you need a funnel? Like, it's like kind of a lot of parallels that I did like learn a lot, even hearing other women's story as I'm sitting there in the courtroom. Like, dang, this one lady, she thought her husband was coming back to kill her, was turning on the gas inside of her house to slowly kill her. And I'm like, this is so crazy. But that's why I like to help people online, because being that, again, a lot of my friends were murdered prior to this happening. Now the person that I'm supposed to be trusting and doing a business with is harming me physically, and everybody's helping them cover it up. So now it's just like, okay, I didn't go anywhere for a long time. I did not go anywhere. I just stayed and sat and did stuff in the house, but I made a lot of money online. That was my reprieve. Funnels was kind of like my way out of doing things, because now I can bury myself inside of the business, and I have had lots of opportunities because of this. As we said, normally my hair is curly, but we have braids right now because we just went to Jamaica because we traveled with a travel agent client the week before, or not the same week. We went to St. Thomas speaking with one of my software clients because she's in St. Thomas and she's teaching the people about AI, and I got to talk about that. So I get to see how I can impact people and tell my story and help other women out and help people out that are going through some of these struggles. But a lot of people, they're like, oh, I have, the stereotypical life. No, Tyler Perry came and wrote this, because this is the stuff that I'm going to share with y'all. Imagine some of the stuff that I haven't even mentioned.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just very blessed because a lot of these things could have been different. Last Saturday, I actually got into a car accident. A whole entire car accident. I did a whole 180 on the interstate. But I share these things because now we can say to women, hey, if you're in a domestic violence relationship, watch out for this. Hey, if you're in a car and it's raining outside, you might hydroplane. So make sure you do these things. Like, we can talk about these things and let people know. Like, a lot of people, I hate that all my friends have passed away, but I've been able to coach a lot of people through grief, whether I wanted to or not, because I've already dealt with some of these things. So while we do go through a lot as women, I have no clue. Shout out to the moms. I don't know how y'all do it, but we go through a lot as women. So I just like to share some of the things that I go through so people know that they're not alone, and that we talk about our preventative measures. Because again, I just think, what if I could have gone back to talk to a little Alyssa or a little Jess about these things before they met these manipulative people, or that it changed the course of our lives forever? Because even still, I have to now tell people, like, hey, got a little person that might pop up. I hope not, but like, that's just not something that I want to do. But
Yeah.
I'm not even huge yet. I'm not even Beyonce yet. So what's gonna happen down the road? Like, Lord, it's just like, I have to take these steps and figure it out.
Yeah, well, we're going to pray the Lord's protection over you continuously, Alyssa, because we don't take this lightly. And I think it's important. I'm so glad that you kind of like landed a plane there with that conversation, because it is important to, hey, the same strategies I'm using in my dating life now, I'm using in my business. And it goes back to being able to use those tools. Those tools work for every situation. You just need to know how to work them. And I think that it's a blessing to have you here, because we believe here on JessAsk that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony that is in Revelations 12. And when we, not Revelations, baby, Revelation. That was real ghetto of me. Okay. Anyway, but it's one thing to be able to see a woman of your caliber and not only see you, but talk to you, do life with you, and understand you from a lens of accountability, community. But it's another thing to be able to understand you in the intimate version of you, to what keeps you motivated, keeps you out of the dark places, because you've been there before, right? I was talking to somebody, and my sister recently had like a tattoo party, and I went and got a tattoo, but I was nervous about it because I had, before getting this third one, I have one on my side and one on my foot, and those are two of the most painful places to get it. And it's been over 10 years. And so I was telling them, I said, I don't remember the pain. I remember my response to it. And sometimes we need to recall the response so we know we don't want to respond like that again. And in order not to respond like that, sometimes it takes inner work, but it also takes us to avoiding things like that, saying caution, when those caution signs come up. How am I dodging them? Am I breaking, or am I going? You know what I'm saying? And so I think that knowing that what you've been through, while being as powerful and anointed and driven as you are, they need to know what the caution sign looks like. Like, what is the caution sign for Alyssa? Desiree, you've been over there writing notes, sis. You've been over there just bust down in notes. I want to hear from you real quick.
No, this was a beautiful conversation, and Alyssa, thank you for sharing your testimony and your journey with us, because like Jess said, we do overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. But the beauty of it is, it's unfortunate that we have to go through things in life, but when you're able to take your journey your experiences and share them with somebody else, that's how God gets the glory. That's how it all works together. For the glory of the Lord. So thank you for that. And I was writing some notes because because sis was really dropping gems on and I think the thing that she said about we're in a funnel whether we realize it or not, right? So one of the things that I really think about a lot of times in my business is how people experience me and how they experience the journey. So knowing that's technically a funnel kind of gives me some more clarity on how I want them to walk through, how I want to walk through the process with them. You know what I'm saying? So this was a very rich and inspiring conversation. So I'm hoping that you guys were taking some notes, because and drop what you got from the conversation in the comments, because we really want to hear it, as well as so Alyssa can go back and and check the comments and see what y'all was picking up in that thing.
Cause she ate down, and
She
y'all not
did.
finna lie. She ate.
did.
She ate. Alyssa, I'm honored that you would spend this time with us. Like, you could be anywhere else, but you chose to spend your time with Desiree and I and our JessAsk family, the Safe Space family. And so I know we talked about a lot, right? I know that we talked about funnels, but we also talked about your ability to overcome. And so as a tradition on JessAsk the podcast, we like for our guests to leave the final words, but I also want to make sure you include how people can follow you and connect with you, especially as creating their funnels. So the floor is yours.
Okay, well, thank you again for having me, both of you ladies. It was great to talk to both of you as well, just have different insights. I think the Jess and Des podcast might need to come out soon. But anyway, so yes, thank you again, everybody. Thank you for listening. My name is Alyssa, or Curlyssa, so you can follow me at Curlyssa, CURLYSSA. And if you got good content, I follow back. I think social media is social. That's the part a lot of people forget about, so I do follow back. If you need a funnel, you can find us at fearlessfunnels.com. If you just want to build it yourself and you need the software, we do have lots of templates and the automations already built out at plugmachine.com, and you can check out either one of those. As we are going into the holiday season, we have Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday. We have we have Kwanzaa, we have Christmas, we have Hanukkah, we also have New Year's, we have Valentine's Day coming up. It's just so many holidays that you can have as your sales holidays. So you might as well make sure that you tap into our holiday sales playbook and you come to our classes that we have every single month. Every single month you can catch a class, whether you want to join us at any level. We can do it for you, do it with you with our plug machine, or just have come to your classes and learn the education side of things. So no matter where you are, we are here to help. And again, thank you so much for having me. And we have to say just ask. Is that the part that we're on now?
Well, we about to get to that part, girl. Okay. Cause you gotta just ask. I mean, what's the hold up? Okay, Alyssa, you are beautiful. Okay, sis. Now I feel like we just gonna have to do this at least once a year with Alyssa. Like, give us what's tea? Yeah. What's tea? I think she's worthy of the reoccurring. Y'all, like Desiree said, let us know in the comments what you got, what you learned, what you digested. I'm pretty sure that Alyssa would appreciate. And then if you have any questions, I mean, she's going to pay attention. So you might want to go ahead and interact in the comments. Okay. All right, you guys, we've enjoyed you. You know what it is. Until next week, until next time, remember, life could be much more simple if you just ask.
What's up, you guys? We hope you've enjoyed that conversation, but make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification so you don't miss an episode. We'll see you next Thursday.